Here's a little introduction to landscape drawing.
I'm going to teach you how to draw a landscape using atmospheric perspective in just 6 values. A sketchbook. Good drawing paper, thick. Don't use printer paper, please. Now, a value is the degree of light and darkness. You may have studied this if you looked at chiaroscuro and the way light affects an object. But for this, we're going to be dealing with flat value zones, from light to dark. Ansel Adams was an amazing photographer, and he utilized the value scale to help create atmospheric perspective in his artworks. He made sure that he had all the values from 0 to 10. Now we're just going to make sure that we have values from 1 to 6. We'll simplify it for this drawing. If you don't have different pencils at home, just use a number 2 pencil and press harder in the darker areas, lighter in the lighter areas. Foreground, middle ground, background. Dark, medium, light. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's important to think about your composition or how you arrange the visual elements on your paper.
These are just some to get you started on how you want to organize your landscape composition. The rule of thirds. You divide it in 3s. Any place where those lines intersect, that's going to be a point of interest. When you're dividing up your composition, it's really good to have your horizon line either in the upper third or the lower third of your picture. You want to put your horizon line smack dab in the middle of your drawing. 6 value zones. You're going to create those 6 zones by making angled lines that not always go across the entire paper. Then you go to the top of those lines and add all your trees and bushes and grass and all your other detailed landscape stuff. The trees have to grow out of a line. Important to overlap these zones. Okay? Remember, everything in the background is going to be smaller, everything in the foreground is going to be larger. With atmospheric perspective, you have to play around with scale. If you have 2 trees that are the same size, but one's closer to you and one's further away, the further away one will be smaller. Don't forget about your practice sketches. I have a window right there that I can look out and be inspired by the trees and actually look at something from direct observation rather than the images in my mind. And that will help inform my drawing. Thumbnail sketches are fast. Do them quick and just think about the basic layout. Don't get caught up in details. This one's my favorite. You can set it up either portrait or landscape. It doesn't matter. Keep in mind the tips and tricks I gave you in how to draw a tree video. The link is in the description below. Keep those trees asymmetrical, just like your landscape. Remember, over-caffeinated, wiggly lines to add more dimension. My mountains are not triangles. Do not make mountains that look like triangles. Mountains are curvy, they're flowing. There's usually like the easier side of a mountain to climb up and the harder side. They're asymmetrical. Sure you're layering. It's super important to do layering. Layering will give smooth, continuous tone. I like to start on the left-hand side because I'm righty, and that means I won't get my hand all smudgy and dirty and ruin the rest of my drawing because I won't be pressing on areas that I already drew on. So if you're lefty, you may want to start right to left. I also like to start with the lightest zones. Zone 1, no shading. Zone 2, very light shading. Zone 3, middle shading. 4, middle dark. 5, pretty dark. And 6, as dark as you can get it. Press too hard with a pencil, you're going to get grooves in the paper, and that will not look good. You may have to go back and adjust your zones as you're working. Some of your zones might appear a little dark after you're done, and you can lighten them with an eraser, or you can even take a piece of tissue and blend. Remember, don't blend with your finger. Blending with your finger just leaves oiled fingerprints on your drawing, and that's gross. It's really important to not rush the shading. You want to take your time and make sure it comes out accurate and smooth. Keep the lines in the foreground detailed. Remember, no outlines. My hands get filthy. So there's no interior lines, it's all with silhouettes. This tree trunk, even if it continued all the way down here, we don't see that. It's all covered up in that value zone. These trees, their tree trunks go down into zone 2. But we don't see that because it's all one value zone. And there you have it. Get this thing away from me. The things that will take your drawing to another level are being able to add negative space in the different zones. If you want to create interesting drawings, make sure you include overlapping. You want a more advanced option? Try color pencils. If you can't get dark enough for value 1, you can also mix your color pencil with a regular pencil to create the darker values. Just picking one color pencil that has a good range from light to dark. Like yellow does not have a good range from light to dark.
Or try it in paint.
And that's it. We're done. Let me know if you have any other questions. I would love to hear from you.